Hi everybody, Yuki Productions here, and what we have here is a little something that I've been working on for the last few days here. And what this is a little bit of an FPS experience for you guys. And I am using a new asset from the asset store Unity called the FPS Engine by Cowson. And my goodness, you can actually make your own FPS game. It's literally everything you need to make your own FPS game. So what I'm gonna walk you through is what this is, and then we're gonna take a look at a new update coming up very soon, actually, 0.99, talking about some new things coming to the engine because they look really ridiculously good. I'll explain that in a moment. So what we have here is a Unity scene. So I'm gonna explain what we have here, and I'm going to walk you through what I in game mode, testing mode, what we have. So visually, here's what you see that is on Unity. So as you can see here, you're gonna start right here. Now keep in mind this dungeon map is more of like a practice map, if you will, to show you guys what it looks like in terms of like an actual thing experience. So maybe this could be the target zone, whatever. So that is where you start. So you may have noticed that we have a starting area right here. And how do I know that? Because this is what you call the CalSense FPS controller. This is responsible for letting you where you start. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on the programming aspect of an FPS controller, but basically, the idea is that is where you start and how you play. That is how it looks like. You're gonna see the player thing here. You're gonna learn about the player movement, the player controller, the player stats, and all that. Look at the right side of your screen. You can change this as many times as you want to make it to your own liking. And that's what I like about this asset from the asset store. By the way, if you guys want to buy the asset today, I'll put the link in the description below because I'm going to tell you if you want to make your FPS game, this asset is for you. Maybe I'll be part of the creator community for that, like making little tutorials. You can even set fall damage. Hey, Jimmy Dukes, I'm looking at you, boy. You can also look at event, like certain like special events. So so we're gonna take a look at what we have. So when you start getting the asset for your first time, you're gonna get max health of 100 and max shield of 50. And this is configurable at your own disposal. You can change it as many times as you want before final release. Then we have the interact manager, talking about player states and all that good stuff. Then you have the triggers. The player movement allows you to choose the player movement, like the movement speed, the camera, sliding, and there will be new updates to this too, by the way. Jumping, aim assist. I know you guys like aim assist, ladies and gentlemen of the Call of Duty universe. Stamina, advanced movement like wall one, rail bounce. So this is inside of the FPS engine. So you can roll one by pressing this, and you can change the velocities and the roll one speed whatever you want. You can do a wall bounce where you can bounce from wall to wall. Okay, and you can control that too. The force, the upwards, and the direction. You can also do dashing if you guys are interested in that. Again, change it as much as you want. Then you have the weapon controller, which allows you to choose the weapons that you have at the start of the game. So for example, let's say you want to have the inventory size of 3. So you just change this to number 3, okay? And then you have your initial weapons. Now there is an array. Now I'm going to go into like little words of programming here. So this is an array of weapons. The array of weapons allows you to see which ones you want to start with. You have a pistol, rifle, shotgun, burst rifle. Then you have your initial weapons. So the initial weapons are what you start with. Now there's a 0. because you don't start with anything unless you want to. Player stats, we have fall damage. Jimmy Dukes, I'm looking at you because I know you play Call of Duty. You can take fall damage. Minimum height distance to apply will be 4, and then the fall damage multiplier is 10. Okay, you can change the interaction and the references with the interact manager, and then you can also have an audio clip if you so choose to. So let's take a look at some of the stuff here that I would like to present before we go back into the whole programming world. This is a breakable box. So this breakable box allows you to put in an item like you would see in Resident Evil. For example, as you see here on the right side of your screen, we have the create CRAT script. So Calson's made a particular script to allow you to put a something inside of said box. For example, bullet pick upable is allowing you to pick up bullets for your rifle. Now I say rifle very particularly because this is the only weapon with a max number. Every other weapon right now, as of right now, is unlimited ammo, and it's not compatible with this particular pickupable. For the moment, I'm gonna see if I can change that. So max health. Yes, I know this is a box, and it's not particularly an enemy, but because it's breakable, it has to have the max health number. You have to have at least one to break it because of the script that is in play, which is the crate script. So after you destroy the box, and we're gonna take a look at how it looks like in a moment. The fracture crate component gets into play. Not a component, but object. Okay, and then every object in Unity has something called a box collider to allow you to hit the box as well. Now, if you do not have a box collider, just like in VR chat world, you're going to face through the box. You don't want that. Okay. What we have over here, what we have over here is this target thing. I'm gonna do target practice with that too. Here we have a castle. Does nothing. Forget. What we have over here is everybody's favorite worst thing ever in Overwatch is a loot box. Yay, loot box. There's some good news though. There's a lot of good news though. You pay nothing. Well, you do pay something to open it, but you don't have to pay me real money. All you have to do is grab coins shown here, and you can choose as a developer how many coins you can earn. For example, in this case, it's a random number. It's actually RNG number from 150 to 500. Now, why 150 to 500? Because if you look at the coin script that is created by Cowsins, you can change the number of coins that you can offer. So, for example, this particular run of this coin is 150 coins to 500. So you can earn 150 to 500, no more than that, because by max coins rule. How much to buy the loot box? If you click on the loot box, well, I'm going to click on the loot box because I can. Here's what's inside the loot box. As you can see in the loot um, component, it's a script and the interaction text is open, and it's an array of up to 2 objects. I can choose as many objects as I want, but the most games have it at one. But if you're feeling like, you know what, let's make this a luck based game, you can add up to as many objects as you want, as long as they are pick upable. So for example, we have a health pack regen. I'm gonna actually remove the element one, the coin, just so that it's not complicated. So I'm showing you one of the loot boxes has a health pack. So how much to buy this loot box? It's 100 coins, as you can see here. I can change this to 150, just like that. Um, Over here we have the animations of this thing. Try your best not to change those animations though, to make it to make it more to make it easier as a developer. Okay, so that's the loot box, and I'm gonna show you how it looks like in gameplay later. What we have here is the damage hurt trigger, which is called which is on layer on tagged default layer. What this does is damages the player. How much damage? Well, 25. Well, I can change this to 50, 100, 1000, whatever number. The idea, the goal here is to hurt the player. Now, why? Well, I'm going to show you guys that the loot box has the health regen pack so we can play with it. This is a spike trap, but the spike trap is not from Cowson. It's from another pack I found for the dungeon map. So I'm going to combine the assets I found for a certain map to a to this. This is the hurt hurt trigger, which is a script which is responsible for damaging the player. How much damage will depend on the developer. In this example, 25. Okay. Now let's go over here. This bird cage is nothing. Ignore that. I just put it there for decoration purposes. Okay, what we have over here is the weapon pickable, bullet pickable. So right here, we have a script called bullet pickable, and the idea is to pick up bullets. How many bullets? In this example, 10 bullets. As you can see here in this particular script, and you're gonna see that every object has to have a box collider. Okay, and the way you pick up bullets in this particular engine, it is customizable, of course. But if assuming that you are doing default, if you're on mouse and keyboard, press E. If you're on controller, yes, controller, hold triangle, not square. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at that. So now what we have over here is blue shells. Now this is from another pack for enemies. So this actually has a script that I have to find called enemy health. You actually need this script to make an enemy out of it. So here, this blue slime, it basically says blue shell. The max health is 10. The max shield is 0. Okay, that's default, but that's not default, by the way. You can change this as many times as you want again. We also have the show UI. We have the health color and the damage pop up. So you're gonna see that in gameplay later. You must have this script in order to make an enemy. If you do not, it won't count. For example, this other blue shell does not have the script, so this thing is just a decoration officially. Then over here we have weapons for you to pick up. So we have weapons here. Let's go here. Here, weapon pickupable. So there's four. There's I believe one, two, three, four, five. There's four weapon pickupables in the scene. Now you may have noticed, however, that the numbers look different. Three, five, one, four, two. Now in programming, the first object is actually zero. Like when you program something in like the computer science thingy, zero is in the first one. So anytime you hear of zero, like picture zero dot png, in programming terms, that's the first picture. Therefore, it's the first picture. But when you program it, it's zero. Don't forget that. Um, we have here. So we have this third. So this would be considered the third object. This would be considered the fifth object. This would be considered the second object because it's a one. Zero is one. Zero is considered one. And this is the sixth object because it's number five. It sounds confusing, but I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna learn that in CS class. And we have a katana, by the way, for number five, for number six, which is the fifth, which is labeled five. Now you can rename this if you want to make it better. And the way you want to rename it is the weapon of choice. In this case, the katana. So that's the weapon pickable. But we're not done because if you click on said weapon, let's say said rifle, double click on weapon here, and you're gonna get to something called the weapon workshop. Now this puppy allows you to change everything about a weapon, and you can add new ones too. But let's take a look at the basic rifle here. So what we have here is a rifle. Obviously, it shoots weapons, it shoots bullets. The weapon object is a script called rifle weapon identification. And if you want to make your own weapon, you have a tutorial for you, and we're gonna take a look at that later. We're gonna have a look at that later. But let's have a look at some of the things you can do besides making a name on it. You have shooting style, hit scan, projectile, melee, or custom. For the first, to make it simple, use hit scan just to make sure you don't. It's not too complicated to learn later. Okay. Now the idea here is to shoot method is press and hold. The fire rate is the speed here. How much fire rate, how much bullet range, how many bullets per fire, and the cost per fire. Apply bullet spread. The bullet spread is like the aim thing. Like there's a recoil too you can actually apply as well here. Let's go to stats. Here is where the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. You can change the bullet stats at any time uh, prior to game release, of course. So you can change this as many times as you want. The rifle is the only one as of right now has unlimited bullets. However, let's take a look at another weapon here. Let's look at the let's look at the shotgun. So let's go to stats. So as you can see here, we have different numbers. Okay, so that's how it looks like right here. So if we take a look at the rifle again, let's go to the rifle for our example. The magazine size. Magazine size refers to how much magazine you have in there. Like one magazine is 10 bullets, for example. Limited magazines means it's limited, as in there is a limit of how many magazines you can have. Total magazines is how many magazines you have. So one magazine is 10 bullets in the case of today's example. Damage per bullet is where you can start making crazy stuff. How much damage does one bullet from the rifle do, does? Now, critical damage multiplier. If there is a damage area like like on a zombie headshot, that's a critical area, and critical damage means you can multiply by 1.5 or as much as you want up to 2.0. So 2.0 is the absolute max on this slider. Okay, so we're gonna do 2. Reload style is default reload. Reload time is 2.5 seconds, but you can change this at any time. You can also allow aim, where your aiming position changes right here. Movement speed while aiming is going to be based on your movement speed. So I'm going to change this to 10 so that we can try it out in game in testing purposes. Visuals, you can change the visual as well. Audio and UI. The UI crosshair resize, I'm going to put 60 to see what differences. And you can also have a no top part crosshair. So that's a little look at the weapon workshop. If you guys are interested in learning how to use this asset pack. And the final thing we're going to take a look at today is this. This is a training target. Very simple. Very simple to understand. It's a target. It's a target practice thing. And we have the UI for the health and stuff like that. Like this. There's also a head collision thing here where this is where the critical damage is. So in order to trigger a critical shot, a few things need to happen. You need to have like a empty object, game object. Then you have to trigger the tag critical, and then the layer has to be enemy. If you do not do that, it doesn't count, and it's going to count as normal damage. Graphics are like whatever is on here. Sliders, the the enemy slider, the UI of the shield and the health. Okay, now that I discovered I told you all the things you need to know about this particular asset pack in terms of like what you need to understand. Let's actually take a look at it in experience mode or testing mode. I'm gonna be playing in controller, so all I have to do is press play here. It's gonna do an application.reload just in case we added some stuff. So I'm going to show you in game. Now pay attention to the left and left side of your screen, because every time I do something, it's going to update the object. So right now we're going to go ahead and pick up the rifle, which is this puppy right here. So as you can see, I have a magazine of 10, and I have one magazine of 10 more bullets. So now I'm going to destroy this box, and as you can see here, we have a pickup option, and I'm supposed to get 10 bullets. And I have 20 bullets now in my reserve, so that's another magazine. Oops. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trigger the hurt trigger. I'm gonna pick up this coin. I should be having 237 coins. Now I can open this loot box because I have more than 150 coins. I hold E. Now what came out of it is the health pack, but normally you're allowed to collect it right off the rip. But because my health and shield is full, I cannot collect it yet. All you have to do is run on it, and you got your health pack. You may have noticed, however, there is a blue bar. So if you hold shift to run, that blue bar is the stamina bar. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I'm gonna go on my hurt trigger by on purpose, so you can see me activate the health pack. So I'm gonna do this a few times. on the spike trap. Now I'm gonna run over this, and you're gonna see that I healed because the whole screen went green. Okay, that's the VFX. That's the visual effects there. Now I'm gonna shoot the red the slime here. Now I said I have three inventory slots because we changed it. So as you can see, there's an X. That's because I don't have anything there. I'm gonna grab the pistol, and then I'm gonna grab a katana. So I have three weapons here now. Now you can tell if the enemy tag is applied correctly if the crosshair turns red. That means that is an enemy tag. That's tagged enemy. If you want to do aim down sight on mouse and keyboard, hold your right mouse button and then fire with the left button. And as you can see, I killed the turtle shell, which does nothing because there's no experience system yet. Okay, and I'm gonna explain that in a moment because there's a new update coming soon. Then we have the target thing. As you can see here, we have the UI. So that does 8 damage because remember, we took it to 4 times 2 is 8. So 4 is the regular. 8 if you go to headshot because that's a critical area as tagged by critical. And that's 8. So now, how do you pick up the bullet? So hold E on these boxes like that. So I have one more box here to break. Hold E to grab your bullet. And that's how you do it. Now, what am I going to make out of this? Well, maybe a target practice zone to start. And then I'll release my first experience for you guys on the website. Keep in mind, you do not need official Unity. You just need to learn how to, you just need to run Unity games. Because it is technically done on Unity. Now, let's look at the main menu. Press escape on keyboard, and let's see on mouse, on controller, press the, if you have using a PS4 controller, press your options button. Now for weapon, for selection purposes, you do need to use the mouse. So this is the main menu. You can choose, now because this is from the FPS engine, you're going to get two things from the FPS engine right off the rip. The training range and the movement facility. On the right side, you can see my stuff, the test dungeon. And then you can run it again if you want to. Now keep in mind, there is going to be an AI engine that's going to be released soon as well. So I might be able to play with that down the line. Okay. Now, where can you find this experience? I'm working on a site right now that is going to be that is going to be um content that is going to be with my other website I'm working on for other stuff. We're gonna be calling it Yuki Productions, and then I'm gonna have a section for Yuki Creations as well. So that's a little bit of look at the FPS engine and my look and your first look at a little bit of the experience I'm making for you guys. I'm excited about using this engine. There's another engine called a 2D game engine from Calcins that allows you to make your own 2D games. But I'm not gonna do that one right now. This one is more interesting to look at this point. By the way, if you want to learn the controls for the game, take a look at your top right corner of your screen. That is actually the tips of the engine. If you guys get lost, you can actually choose press Q like that to see the controls again. And you can do that at any time. as long as I put the correct object in the thing. Now, what I want to show you guys is a little preview of the next update of the engine from Carlson to give you guys a taste of what he's cooking. So we're gonna take a look at that for this particular video here. Let me go ahead and show that off. Gonna show that off for a moment because this looks ridiculously good. So this is the upcoming update. Now I cannot play the sound because it uses the copyright music, but I can show you guys what I'm gonna describe what is coming up. So as you can see here on the bottom, you already have something new that's coming up, and that is the experience bar. What you're gonna do with it is up to you. So we have new sliding here. That's the dagger, and it looks like if we take a look at the screenshot carefully, it looks like you can earn coins. But for sure, as you can see on the bottom, you have an experience bar now, and a rocket launcher, and a 4.5 there. I think that's 4.5. The damage can now go into decimals. So here's what else is coming. This goes fast, so I'm gonna slow it down. New rig, new models, new weapons, new animations, new bullet trails, visual effect, experience system, which is the one on the bottom. You now have the ability to use turret, the new slide system, new customization features, new custom editors, major improvement coming very soon. And right now they have on a 50% off sale until next week. So if you guys are interested in this, I'm gonna be putting the link into the description for you guys. That is all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed a little tour of my little experience and a little something about how to use the engine. I might be making other tutorials for this particular engine too, so stay tuned for that. That is all for now. We will see you guys tonight at 9:30 for some type of game. We're gonna play a little something for you. I have no idea what to play yet though. So you're gonna have to wait on that particular front. Okay? We'll see you guys very soon. And hopefully you enjoyed that.